Join me as I dive into the realities of life for lesbians in Croatia today and see if I can uncover the truth behind their experiences. 1. Legal rights and protections. Same-sex relationships, same-sex unions have been legally recognized in Croatia since 2014 under the Life Partnership Act. However, this law does not equate to full marriage equality and limits adoption rights. Anti-discrimination laws. Croatian law prohibits discrimination based on sexual orientation in employment and other sectors, providing some legal protection to LGBTQ+ individuals. Gender identity. Legal recognition of gender changes is available but involves bureaucratic hurdles. 2. Social attitudes. Traditional values. Croatia is a predominantly Catholic country, and traditional family values influence public opinion. This can lead to a mixed societal acceptance of LGBTQ+ individuals. Public perception. Urban areas like Zagreb and Rijeka tend to be more accepting of LGBTQ+ people, while rural areas may exhibit conservative attitudes. 3. Community and representation. LGBTQ+ organizations, groups like Zagreb Pride and other NGOs work to support the LGBTQ+ community, offering resources, counseling, and advocacy. Visibility. Media representation of lesbians and other LGBTQ+ people is growing but remains limited compared to other parts of Europe. 4. Social life and events. Zagreb Pride. The annual Pride Parade in Zagreb is a significant event for visibility and advocacy, though it often faces backlash from conservative groups. LGBTQ+ venues. Cities like Zagreb and Split have some LGBTQ+ friendly bars, clubs, and cafes where lesbians and others can socialize safely. Queer art and culture. There is a budding queer cultural scene, including film festivals like the Queer Zagreb Festival. 5. Challenges. Discrimination and prejudice. Homophobia and microaggressions remain concerns, particularly in less urbanized regions. Limited rights. The inability to adopt or marry fully reflects the ongoing struggle for equality. Mental health. Like in many countries, LGBTQ+ individuals in Croatia may face mental health challenges due to stigma and societal pressures. 6. Positive developments. Younger generations. Youth in Croatia are generally more open-minded, leading to a gradual cultural shift. Allies and advocacy. LGBTQ+ advocacy groups and allies continue to push for broader acceptance and equal rights. Travel and tourism. Croatia is becoming a more popular destination for LGBTQ+ travelers, with some initiatives to make certain areas, like Dubrovnik and the Dalmatian coast, more inclusive. 7. Love and relationships. Dating scene. The dating scene for lesbians, particularly in cities, is growing thanks to apps and social media. However, discretion is still common. Family and acceptance. Coming out can be challenging in traditional families, but increasing awareness and education are fostering better understanding. 8. Inspirational stories. Local activists. Women like Daniela Godel, an LGBTQ+ activist, work tirelessly to improve conditions for lesbians and other LGBTQ+ individuals in Croatia. Representation in media. Slowly but surely, more lesbian stories are being told in Croatian film and literature, reflecting a broader societal acknowledgement of their lives. Tourist tips for LGBTQ+ visitors. Stick to LGBTQ+ friendly spaces in urban areas for a more welcoming experience. Attend events like Zagreb Pride to connect with the local queer community. Be cautious in rural areas where conservative attitudes prevail. While lesbians in Croatia experience both progress and challenges, ongoing activism, education, and generational change signal hope for a more inclusive future. Legal protections for lesbian women are also limited. While Croatia has made some progress in recent years, such as introducing laws against discrimination based on sexual orientation, there are still significant gaps in legislation, particularly when it comes to same-sex partnerships and family rights. This lack of legal recognition leaves lesbian couples and families vulnerable and without equal rights compared to their heterosexual counterparts. Furthermore, the political and religious landscapes in Croatia also contribute to the challenges faced by lesbian women. The Catholic Church, which holds significant influence in the country, has historically been opposed to LGBTQ+ rights, and many politicians have been slow to support progressive legislation. This has created a toxic environment for lesbian women, where they feel their identities and rights are under constant attack. But despite these challenges, there are stories of hope and resilience. Many lesbian women in Croatia have found solace and support in community organizations and online forums, where they can share their experiences, find allies, and build connections. These spaces have become lifelines for many, providing a sense of belonging and validation in a society that often rejects or erases them. In recent years, there have been efforts to increase visibility and promote acceptance of lesbian women in Croatia. Activists and allies have organized events, rallies, and campaigns to raise awareness about the issues faced by the LGBTQ+ community, and to push for greater protections and rights. These initiatives have started to bear fruit, with some Croatians beginning to speak out in support of equality and challenging traditional attitudes towards sexuality and gender. One powerful insight into the journey of the lesbian community in Croatia is the story of a recent Pride parade in Zagreb, where thousands of people took to the streets to demand equal rights and an end to discrimination. For many, this was a turning point, a moment of pride and defiance in the face of hatred and intolerance. It showed that even in a country with a complex and often fraught history, there are people willing to stand up for justice and equality. The story of lesbian women in Croatia is one of struggle and resilience, of hope and determination. It's a story that highlights the importance of community and solidarity, and the need for continued activism and advocacy. As we reflect on their journey, we're reminded that the fight for equality is far from over, but that together, we can create a world where everyone has the